You are listening to socialtv.co.za with myself, Nokuthula Khwela. In our top stories, Visa helps Banyana performance support SA small businesses. And Tembisa High learners smile their way to improve confidence with Sun International. Starting off with our top story, Visa, sponsor of the FIFA Women's World Cup Player of the Match Award, is providing grants to help women-owned small and medium businesses in the respective country thrive with capital to grow and sustain their businesses. This extension of the Athletes Award supports WSMBs with $500,000 in total grant funding across the 64 matches and potentially 32 qualifying countries. Following the group stages match against Argentina, Native Nosi, a female-owned beekeeping company specializing in local raw honey production founded by Mogati Mabela from South Africa, received $5,000 grant. The company's investment in women's football has advocated for equity, inclusion, and creating meaningful connections with athletes, fans, and communities worldwide. Visa understands equity requires actions and resources. We're excited to use the world's biggest stage for women's sport to put the power for change into the athlete's performance and uplift a business in the home country of each game's player of the match, said Frank Cooper, Chief Marketing Officer of Visa. This initiative stems from Visa's multi-year commitment to help women entrepreneurs access crucial financial resources and empower inclusion in the global economy. Supporting women in sports is important for future business success. Moving on to our next story. Learners from Tembisa Commerce and Entrepreneurship School of Specialization with focus on tourism and hospitality were instilled with confidence to help them transition through their teenage years at the Sun International Women's Month workshop. The 80 Grade 8 learners enjoyed the Smile, Shimmer and Shine workshop, which forms part of Sun International's Adopt to School program. The workshop was a pilot which aimed to equip Grade 8 learners with coping skills that will help them better manage the challenges they may face. Sun International's SCD specialist Heidi Edson, the intention is to roll out this initiative to other schools that Sun International partners with. The workshop was attended by 2022 Miss South Africa Ndavi Nokeri in one of her last appearances as the incumbent. It's a very exciting initiative. I love how Sun International is bringing it to a school focused on tourism and hospitality so that the students can see there is a future in what they're learning, said Nokeri. There's so much power in campaigns such as this as we empower the youth and give them hope for what they can achieve in their future.
No, I think it's very exciting that we're here today being able to speak to the young women that are here today because they will become the future leaders that our little girls will look up to. And I think it's important that we remind them of the power that exists within them because it's from that place that you're able to empower others around you.
Themes covered on the day included breaking negative patterns such as comparing with others, negative self-talk and body shaming, building positive habits such as self-confidence and reframing, and coping with stress through breathing exercises, dancing and coloring. Since Sun International embarked on an educational program to integrate sustainable practices into schools on a national level in 2017, properties have adopted 60 schools nationwide. The Kagiso Trust, a leading development agency in South Africa, aims to create a prosperous, peaceful, equitable, and just society by designing and implementing scalable, replicable, and long-term development program models in education, institutional capacity building, socio-economic development, and financial sustainability. The Trust has invested over 2 billion rands in development over the last 35 years and implemented over 1,831 programs. Mankone Nzaba, chairperson of Kagiso Trust, emphasized the importance of citizen participation in municipality government in their recent Twitter conversation.
Awareness just generally across the system and across society. You know, it's not just one part of society that needs this awareness, but really even the most educated people have a very poor understanding. Even the most formally educated people in terms of having degrees, in whatever way, have very poor understanding of how the system actually works in the way that it's supposed to work. And so we've developed a program that is going to be launched at the end of the month, a civic education program that is aimed at teaching, at providing the resources on this online and in an app, and then also working with organizations to be able to teach it on the ground in areas that have poor access to data and all of those things. Just one thing that I wanted to add, a dimension I wanted to add to this conversation, I do think that a lot of this also comes down to needing to have a professional civil service, because really so many people that we have in our public service, as Makona was referring to, are just not able to address the infrastructure challenges that we have, which is why we also see this abuse of the tender system. And so I think that, there's no easy fix to this. But I think it is something that can be addressed with focused effort by people across the spectrum of society, both civil society and government as well.
The decline in public ownership of public goods has led to a massive deterioration in infrastructure over the last few years. Dr. Sam Koma, director of the University of Limpopo's School of Economics, highlighted the flawed philosophy of development adopted by the democratic government in 1994, which led to citizens being excluded from decision-making processes. The IMF report revealed that if Eskom and Transnet were fixed, economic growth would grow by 2% as public infrastructure drives economic growth. Power dynamics in local governments have narrowed the gap between residents who are unaware of their entitlement to participate in budget discussions and those financially unable to pay for transportation to those sessions. Dr. Mbete emphasized the need for municipalities to deploy the right people to address infrastructure issues. She believes that many people in public services are unable to address infrastructure issues, and the University of Pretoria has developed a program focusing on civil education to address these issues. In our final story, community members in a school in Komani, formerly Queenstown in the Eastern Cape, are the latest beneficiaries of disaster relief support from Ford and Gift of the Givers Foundation, following torrential rain and extensive flooding experienced in the area during February 2023. With large portions of the town submerged and informal settlements particularly had hit for South Africa, and Ford Motor Company Fund responded to the appeal by Gift of the Givers for funding to roll out urgent humanitarian aid. Ford Fund provided a grant of more than 500,000 rands for the relief efforts, with half the funding earmarked for the distribution of much-needed food parcels, potable water, mattresses, clothing and hygiene packs to affected members of the community. Once immediate needs were addressed, the focus shifted to assisting St. Teresa's Primary School in Aluvale, Komani. The school's toilet facilities had been extensively damaged by the flooding, leaving learners in a dire situation. Additionally, the team painted the inside of the ablution blocks, replaced damaged doors, repaired broken windows, panes, and stone guards, and inspected and replaced damaged water pipes. The project also extended its benefits to a new classroom block, where ceilings were installed, floors were tiled, 20 window sills were constructed, plastering was completed, and a veranda roof was built to protect learners from the elements. To recap our top stories, Tembisa High learners smile the way to improve confidence with Sun International. For more CSI news, you can visit our website www.socialtv.co.za.